What is up, my people? My AG Tactical fam, how's everybody doing? To all the ladies, to all the gentlemen, I hope you guys are having a wonderful ass holiday. Nah, shit. Wow. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas. You know what I mean? We don't say happy holidays over here. We say Merry Christmas. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful Christmas, man. I hope you guys are locked in, having family time, doing all the things you need to do. Hey, and guess what? You know, when you get the chance, come check us out over here with the Darrell Brooks case, because we have some more witnesses. We still got witnesses, man. There's so many witnesses. It is insane. This case is somewhat of a, you know, you don't get cases like this very often. You know what I mean? It's a rare one. A case with this many witnesses and also someone who represents themselves at the same time. It's a crazy combination of situations right here. But anyways, we have an officer. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name because I'm going to butcher it. So I'm going to let him say it himself. But we have an officer who was in the parade. And we're just going to see what he has to say. We have prosecution that's going to start. And then Brooks, of course, is going to continue. The video may be one of the longer ones, so I may have to split it into two parts, but we'll see. Let's get it.
Good afternoon, officer. If you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is up a riser to my right. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, who's on my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please be seated. If you would please state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Sure. First name is Garrett. Last name is Luling. First name is spelled Garrett. My last name is spelled Luling.
Thank you. Go ahead, Attorney Upper, your witness.
Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Officer Luling.
Good afternoon.
Sir, I want to direct your attention to the date of November 21 of 2021. And you are aware of the Waukesha Christmas parade taking place that afternoon. Is that correct, sir?
Objection, lead.
Correct. I was working.
Hold on. Understand it's leading. There is some leeway when it's just laying foundation, so it's overruled, and the witness may answer, and the answer he provided may stand. Go ahead.
Correct. I was assigned to work the Christmas parade.
All right. At some point in time, were you aware of injuries to those involved in the parade, sir?
Objection, lead.
Yes.
Overruled.
He already gets the idea. I feel like his strategy is to answer first, get corrected later. He's just like, let me just get this shit out, and then let her say answer may stand instead of having to wait. Smart man. He's probably been tuning in, maybe, possibly.
Before you wait, I rule on the objection, please.
Sorry.
And at some point later that evening, were you aware of a suspect being taken into custody in the 500 block of Elizabeth Street?
Objection, lead.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
All right, I want to direct your attention to that time frame, please. Did you respond to that area, sir?
Yes.
Where did you go?
I was initially parked setting up a perimeter near the area of Southwest Avenue in Wood. When I heard Specialist Klein come over the area indicating that there was a subject going door to door in the 500 block of Elizabeth Street, and then traveled north. And
I mean, how dumb can you be? You're going door to door? Like, bruh. So that's pretty suspicious. There's going to be a few phone calls about you, especially in like a neighborhood nobody knows you, a white neighborhood, you're a black guy. Like, yeah, there might be a few calls, you know what I mean? Stupid. He's a doofus. Get on the bus, bro. You know what I mean? Can I borrow your phone to call my mommy? That's so pathetic, bro. That's weak right there.
To Elizabeth Street, which is right off of Southwest Avenue. Correction, Northwest Avenue at that point. And I traveled westbound on Elizabeth Street looking for the subject.
What did you see when you arrived in that area?
Initially, as I came to the area, I observed an officer from the village of McGuanago, an officer from the Big Bend Police Department, as well as an officer from the City of Delafield Police Department in the area. I traveled westbound, spotlighting residents in the general area looking for the subject. Initially, I didn't see anyone, so I made it to the end of the street, at which point I began to double back. I briefly stopped and spoke with some civilians in the area, just saying, hey, if you see anyone, call the police department, let us know. And as I traveled back eastbound on Elizabeth Street in the 500 block, I observed the 3 officers from those aforementioned police departments detaining one subject at gunpoint in the front lawn of 553 Elizabeth Street.
You had indicated there were people out and about, civilians.
Yes, there was some people out on their porches or patios. I had my lights going on my squad, so that drew attention for people to kind of look out and call out to me as I was making a Y-turn.
Do you know about what time of day this was?
Not off the top of my head. It was dark out, though.
Okay. As in relation to when the incident at the parade occurred to when you're arriving on Elizabeth Street, can you give us a rough time frame?
Objection and leading.
Overruled. You may answer.
Now he's just picking times of when to object. He's like, all right, I'm doing it back to back. He's starting to pause and wait for me. So I can't be, you know what I mean? I can't be, what's the word? I can't be predictable. So now I'm going to draw back, and I'm going to throw a random one out every once in a while. Just throw it out there just to trip him up a little bit. Bro, that's his own. He doesn't even lead objection leading, objection speculative. That's literally like there's so many other objections you could be throwing out, but those are the only things he's seen on Law and Order. You know what I mean? So what is he going to do? Copy Law and Order. Fucking dumbass.
45 minutes an hour at the max.
Okay. So when you roll up on 553 Elizabeth Street, tell me what you saw.
So as I was coming back eastbound, I could see the lights from the other officers illuminating a subject on the ground. I immediately pulled up, parked my squad, got out and began running to where the officers were. And as I came up to where they were in the front lawn area between the residents and the sidewalk, they were in the midst of handcuffing and detaining a subject on the ground.
The subject that was being handcuffed and detained on the ground, you see that person in the courtroom here today?
I do, yes.
Are you able to identify him?
Yes,
Would you like him to remove his mask in order to do so, sir?
please.
Okay.
Mr. Brooks, if you please. Thank you.
Look at the face. Little 4-year-old. Never grew up, man. Never grew up. Still having temper tantrums to this day. Math Boy Fly. Listen to that name. Just the shit. That name alone is going to make you blow up. Math Boy Fly? Fly Math Boy? Yeah, craziest rap name I've heard in the game, bro. The name alone is going to put you places, huh? It's the dumbest fucking name I've ever heard of in my life. Anyway.
So the subject I saw was Darrell Brooks, seated at the defendant's table wearing a dark-colored suit with a gray shirt.
Now, you said he was already on the ground in the process of being handcuffed, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you see any officer slam Mr. Brooks to the ground?
No.
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
No.
Did you see any use of force directed towards Mr. Brooks by any police officer on the scene at that time?
Objection. Hearsay.
Overruled.
No.
Did you
Yeah, someone
approach
in my comments said, yeah, but they slammed Brooks. Bro, that's propaganda spread by Darrell Brooks. That's propaganda, bro. Nobody slammed, bro. Nobody slammed him. He got on the floor kind of on his own. They're just like, all right, get on the ground. Get on the ground. And then they put his hands behind his back and call it a fucking day. You know what I mean? Took care of business. Yeah. Propaganda. He's really trying to... It's funny how in my comments I see that. And that's exactly what he was trying to go for. Just, you know, for people who don't really know too much about the case. Yeah. And they slam me on the ground. My arm is tweaked on the corner. And it's just, oh, I'm so hurt. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Mr. Brooks?
Yes.
Did you speak to him?
Yes.
What did you say?
I asked him to identify himself. At that time, he said Brooks. I again asked him to identify himself. He identified himself as Darrell Brooks.
That's the name he gave you, identifying himself.
Yes.
Objection. That's not what it
Darrell
says in the
Brooks
video.
destroys his own sovereign citizen claim. That should be the title of this video. Because yeah, you identified yourself, then you read all the bullshit from your prison cell. What do you call them? Cellmates? Yeah. Your cellmate was probably like one of them sovereign citizen gurus, and he told you, yeah, go ahead and don't even claim that name. You don't even go by this country's rules, bro. You're an internationalist. Like, what?
Overruled.
Yes.
All right. Did that name have any significance when you heard it, sir?
Yes.
Why?
I knew prior to responding to that location that Officer Moss, who had initially located the car, had made a cursory check of the vehicle. During that time, he found documentation belonging to a Darrell Brooks.
Okay. At some point, do you recall getting Mr. Brooks up off the ground?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
Tell us what you remember at that point.
Darrell Brooks was picked up off the ground,
Darrell Brooks was picked off the. I love it. Keep that energy, baby. Love
Overruled.
that shit.
You may answer.
yes.
Tell us what you remember at that point.
Darrell Brooks was picked up off the ground or assisted off the ground. He was then escorted to the front of my marked squad where I searched him.
At this point, are you probably the only officer from the City of Waukesha Police Department on the scene?
Objection. Speculative.
Overruled. You may
That's
answer.
not- How can it?
Yes, I was the only officer from the city of Waukesha at that time.
And the
How
other
is it
officer,
speculation if the city of Waukesha officer was present the entire time, Brooks? How is that speculation? He would have known who the fuck was there. Woo! It's bad. It's bad. He's over here struggling. Brooks is struggling, man. You might think he's every once in a while you feel like he's running the court, but nah, he's really out here struggling, out of his league. Don't know what to say. Don't know what to do. Looking like a doofus.
were providing mutual aid to the City of Waukesha Police Department?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled. The witness may answer.
Yes.
Being the squad from the City of Waukesha and the parade occurring in Waukesha, did you take custody of Mr. Brooks?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
Yes.
Prior to placing him in your squad, was Mr. Brooks searched?
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
Tell us what you remember about that, sir.
Objection.
So
I
I-
don't consent to him remembering anything. I'm surprised he didn't object to something. Objection. Speculative. Tell us what you remember, sir. It's speculative because his memory. He might have. I don't know. He might have Alzheimer's. He might not be able to remember. You know what I mean? He might have amnesia. Come on now.
Objection. I don't consent to being called that name.
Overruled. You may answer.
Yes.
Tell us what you remember about that, sir.
So I searched Mr. Brooks, during which time I found some cards in his right pocket that had his name on it, as well as a black Ford key.
When you say some cards, can you describe those further, please?
Debit or credit cards.
All right, I'm going to show for you an item that's been marked as Exhibit 176. It's been previously admitted. I'd ask that it be displayed for the jury again, Your Honor.
Permission granted.
Objection.
You see the photograph on the monitor in front of you, sir?
Yes.
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
Yes.
Where are you?
I am the officer with his back to the camera
I
with
just want to let you guys know. I just want to point it out. Everybody ignored his last objection. He objected to this video going up. Everybody ignored him. He even ignored himself because he didn't raise the issue.
police written across a fluorescent yellow and orange vest.
Do you recall what you were doing at this point in time?
At that point, it looks like I'm buckling Darrell Brooks into the back of my squad,
All
or
right.
placing him into the back of my squad.
And you see a set of hands on the right side of the photograph, sir?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
Yes.
You see the objects that are being held in those hands, sir?
Objection. Leading.
Overruled.
Yes.
Is that consistent with what you just testified as to the items you removed from Darrell Brooks before placing him in your squad?
Objection.
Overruled.
Consent to being caught in evidence.
Overruled. You may answer, sir.
Yes.
It's a little blurry, but can you circle for us the key that you indicated you found?
With my finger, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I didn't even realize.
Because it's a little hard to see. Can you describe that key as you recall?
As I recall, the key was a single key. I don't recall there being any keychain to it.
Yeah, it's a single key and there's no keychain to it because he doesn't own it. That's the first sign to show that this person does not own this car. This is a loaner. This is a rental. This is a something because it's not attached. There's no sentimental keychain with nothing on it. You know what I mean? Nothing. Now, another thing. Hold on. Why would you have the key? Right? Okay. All right. In your mind, right? You just killed at least 30 people, right? Like at least you just ran them all over and they're all dead behind you, right? Cool. Car's destroyed. Cool. All right, bet. Can't use car no more. Car, I'll probably never see car again. You know what I mean? Take the key out of the ignition, put it in my pocket, and proceed to leave. So I'm just going to keep piece of the evidence with me while I'm moving around, running for my life, trying to protect trying to not get caught. Bro, you're the dumbest. You're the dumbest person I've ever seen. You have the Ford key? Okay. The murder weapon key. Okay, that's really top tier thinking right there. You can't beat it. Like he's too advanced for these organizations. You know what I mean? Like I'll just pocket that shit. Fuck it.
It was a fob type that had some buttons and it had a Ford emblem on it that indicated that was a Ford key.
Okay.
Dumbass.
What did you do with these items after you, strike that. Should ask a better question. Did you eventually get these items back from the officer who was holding them?
Yes.
And what did you do with them?
I took custody of them until they were ultimately turned over to Detectives Stern and Detectives Carpenter.
All right. Do you remember Mr. Brooks asking you why he had been detained?
Objection. I don't consent to being caught in evidence.
Overruled.
Yes.
You may answer, sir.
Yes.
Do you remember specifically what he said?
I recall that he had questioned why the police were handcuffing him or why the police were detaining him.
Did you reply?
Yes.
What did you tell him?
I told him that he was being detained as he matched a description of a subject involved in a crash in the downtown area.
A crash? That was a polite way of putting it. Yeah, you matched the description of a crash in the downtown area. So, we got to take you in, check you out, just slight situation, nothing crazy. I love how they downplay it when you're about to go away for 7 life sentences. Damn.
Did you say anything about the parade?
No.
Yeah. Obscure.
Thank you, officer. I don't have any other questions for you.
Yep, and just like that was prosecution. Prosecution, I mean, shit, they don't even have to really, quote unquote, kick no ass because, bro, the evidence is right there. They just have to ask the most basic questions and everything unfolds in front of you. Like, oh, this guy's actually fucking crazy. Oh, I get it now. He's a mad man. He's a crazy man. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need too much to understand that. But anyways, people, this is part 1. I'm just going to go ahead and clean cut it. This is prosecution. And then we're going to get into the Darrell Brooks cross-examination. It's going to be a lot more cutting and skipping because, the nonsense. We're here for the nonsense. But when it gets to excessive nonsense, it's just brain numbing. So we have to cut through certain points. So I'll be working on that. But until then, people, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Go check out my Bryce Rhodes content. Go check out, what else are we doing? It's really just Bryce Rhodes right now we're focusing on. Go check out the old Bradley Yon videos. Go check out all the content. You feel me? I love you guys. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Until then, stay inside, stay safe, protect your kids. I'm out of here.